All right, let's wind it back. Hey everyone, this is Show versus Business. I'm the real Theo Harvey. I'm here with Mr. Benja. We had a great one today where we talk about movies. How are people getting back to the theater? Is it popcorn? Is it new content? What is it getting people to pay to go to the movies, Mr. Benja? What's getting you to get up and go watch the movies right now?
What's getting me to get up and go to the movies is being able to throw popcorn in the air, throw a drink at somebody in front of me, toilet paper the aisles while I'm yelling something about a, a jockey on a chicken, a zombie. I
That's
am
all it
Steve.
takes.
Yeah, that's all it takes, dog. I am Steve right now. Um, Theaters are crazy right now, and I think this is a good thing. So we're
Hmm.
going to get into all that, and we got stuff talking about just the general ways movies have been put together, what's keeping them alive, what they could do, how streaming is gonna affect all that, and we do some fun stuff here, man. It was a good one.
It was, man. It was. Man, we talked about shows we're watching. Black Mirror. If you watching that, I give you a little synopsis of what's happening out there. The Pit, great TV show on Max. Go check that out. And Mr. Benja is back into watching some stuff. Invincible season 3. So we'll do some brief breakdowns, and also we do our wonderful comic corner. We did the Nick Gunn trailer reaction. People loved it. Some people didn't. I'm not gonna point at who it was. Somebody didn't like it, so we'll talk
Oh
about
my
that
goodness.
later. But
Yeah, man.
everyone, and then also
Look,
trailer time. Go ahead.
once again, if you've got heat for me on the Naked Gun trailer, Arcane season 2, I my fascination with the Rise of Skywalker, flame me. I don't care. I'm Get at me.
And obviously, we do our trailer breakdowns. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Megan 2.0 surprised us. Find out why. And Predator: Killer of Killers. So, Mr.
Let's go.
Benja, are you
Let's
ready? Oh,
go.
always,
Let's
please
go.
like, subscribe, comment. We will reach out to you and talk to you, talk about you, and give you kudos on our shout outs every so often.
T-
We will talk
talk
about you.
talk about you sounds threatening.
So
Hey, you! I
everyone,
see you. I see you, ladies, man. 217. I'm coming after you.
this is what we do, man. We're building a nice community here, so we're going to talk about you guys. But hey, Mr. Benja, you ready to get into it?
Hey, man, let's do this. Let's go.
Let's go. This is Show versus Business, where pop culture meets pop money, with your hosts, the real Theo Harvey and Mr. Benja. So, Mr. Benja, how was your week?
Man, week was good. Let me tell you, I went to therapy right off the bat. I'm not afraid to admit it. Black man went to therapy. But you might not approve because it's only Microsoft Bing GPT Copilot AI therapy. I don't know if that counts, but I
You
went
didn't
to
use
therapy.
Gronk? You didn't use Gronk?
Grok's a little too weird and real for me for therapy. It's funny. There's actually a street therapist setting within Grok. So if you tell it to act like a street therapist, it'll never claim to be a real therapist. Just say, "Hey, Grok, act like a street therapist." It'll start telling you all kinds of crazy stuff. But it's like, "Hey, what do I know? I'm just a street therapist. But you should do this, and you should think like this. And you know what's really wrong? Let me ask you about your childhood." And you're like, "Oh." And I know this because I've tried it, but no, seriously though, I'm thinking about things, and I do my job booking, my journaling. I've been writing a lot, and I've really been having a problem with super focus. Now, I've been able to focus, but I was trying to get that college level focus back, right? Where it's just like an obsession, be obsessed or be average kind of thing, where it's just like, all I can do is thinking about direct 3D programming and getting the drivers loaded up and the executable package. And, it's just back in those programming days, I couldn't not be obsessed like that. But now trying to get that back, it starts messing with my head, man. It's like, well, is this a waste of time? Should I be doing this? Da, 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 da. And too many other thoughts have built up over the years. So I started talking to like Copilot. I was like, "Hey, what's going on, Copilot? Can I ask you about this and that and that?" Oh yeah, we'll focus. ADHD. Let's not go that far. I just want to do something, and then timing interrupts me. And I set time aside, and then I start dreading that little time aside. But then when I get into it, I'm really into it. And I just started explaining my situation. And I realized I was talking to it at some point like a therapist, like a therapy session. I don't know what that means for me, but I just kept asking it questions. Then I'm like, huh, I didn't intend to get this far in the rabbit hole, but now I'm here. And it's got some good ideas. Or maybe they're not good ideas.
Well, I have to ask you: was this before or after I sent you that Harvard Business Review article?
I've been playing with this for a minute. Um, but I just stopped and realized that, hey, is this some sort of cognitive behavioral therapy I'm trying to pull out of AI right now?
This
And
is
I was like, hmm,
crazy.
maybe
Wow.
I am. Because it's like certain times of the week, I actually, I won't say schedule a time, but it's like, you know what? After I get home and do this and that on this day, it's like, yeah, you know what? Let me go talk to Chat GPT again about why is that crazy? I mean, it is, but you give me the look.
Well, I don't think it's crazy. It just validates what um sent you this article. I don't know if we were going to talk about in this episode, but I sent you that Harvard Business Review article by a journalist. Did some research on like top uses of how people using
Yeah, yeah.
general AI right now, and compare from 2024 to 2025. Uh, and last year, therapy companionship was like in the top five. This year it was number one use that people are looking for, and it's amazing to me how people are starting to kind of use AI. The top five, three of them are in the professional and personal support arena, and that's crazy to me. that therapy. First one is therapy, companionship. Second one that people are using Gen AI right now is for organizing my life.
What does that mean?
It was a new use case. It came out of nowhere. They didn't even track last year, right?
Organize my. So I could see that in terms of like planning and setting stuff up. But I'm just trying to clarify that term.
Well, the way I'm interpreting it, I don't know exactly how they're interpreting it, but I know Claude has projects where you can actually kind of put folders in there and Google Docs and things like that. So, for instance, I'm writing a book, right? And so I can use that and say, hey, um, of my research stuff I sent you, do I have something that talks about XYZ, right? And it will go in there and find that information and give you all the information on that. And they'll ask you, do you want me to find more information to pull to give you more clarity on this? So that does help. And I know a lot more folks and I think OpenAI is basically trying to come up with something similar, right? Kind of this project, kind of container of a specific uh, project that you're working on and make it more organized for you. So that's a use case. And then the third use case was finding purpose. And that's a new use case. And that was scary.
That was a very specific and interesting one. Yeah, finding purpose. I'm not gonna say yeah,
So when you said that, I was just like, that's just so funny to me. And Mr. Bitch, it kind of aligns a little bit what I did this week. I started watching Black Mirror on Netflix. Came out again. Wow, it's been you go some of those early episodes of Netflix, they were dead to rights on a lot of things that we're seeing right now, man. With the whole, there's a one episode where you're talking to basically a wife whose husband's deceased. She brings him back, an AI version of him back, and that's exactly what we kind of have somewhat in these AI voice bots now. So it's just kind of weird how Black Mirror is kind of predicting some of the things that we're doing right now. But they had the reason I bring it up is because they have an episode this latest season where people are falling in love in AI, man. You remember Zapp and Roger, Computer Love?
yes,
It's gonna be AI love, buddy. Dun, dun, dun. AI love. I'm talking about AI love.
yeah,
So we're getting to that point, man, where people are not only having parasocial relationships with the YouTube and influencers, people that they think they know, but they have no
hmm
clue who they are, but they're also going to have relationships with the AI bots. And
yeah,
so this is going to be interesting time, man. I look at my kids, I'm like, how are they going to navigate this new world of relationships in 2035? It's going to be weird.
yeah. It's strange, man. And I've seen. there's this kid I know in college, and the kid never comes to me with general questions anymore. They come with the specific stuff. Like, hey, he came to me. He's like, hey, I was trying to figure out this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and all these separate things, but I don't know where to go from here. And I'm looking at him like, oh, he Googled, got certain pieces of information back, then at some point, or talked to AI, at some point got lost, and then said, let me go ask somebody who's put all this together before, which is a totally different way where it was almost the opposite the other way around, which was like, hey, how do I get a job? Well, sir, son, you go do this, this, and this. And they run off and then they go get lost on their own. Now it's like they come back with all these roadmaps saying, okay, which way do I go? It's like, oh, interesting.
It's just, man, we're in a world now, man. I think I read this article today. They were talking about what you should not give AI, right? And so it's just a list of things like your bank account information, right?
Here's here's my DNA.
Yeah, your
Yes,
health records, yeah, stuff like that. And folks are kind of using it for more and more personal things, and because it seems human like, they're trusting it more and more. And so this is going to be interesting, man, to see. And I think also, there's no guarantee that they're going to take this information and not train their models on what you give it, right? So they'll be like, oh, so you're a black guy, in your 40s, and you're looking for this type of problem. Okay, okay. The statistics say you will do this in the next 5 years, or this will happen. So it's going to be interesting, man, to kind of see all this kind of pan out. So, but yeah, man. Anything did you watch interesting last this week beyond just doing therapy?
yeah, entertainment is part of my therapy. I can't just be now. That's part of the thing with the hard focus. When you're really in the focus, you can't. Your mind can't run all the time on stuff. So I played around with a couple episodes. I started on Don Da Don. I'll come back to that. That's an anime. It's kind of offbeat on the Fooly Cooley level. I like it, but I'll come back to that. Three body
What was
problem.
that? What was it called? Hooly Fooly?
Fooly Cooley. FLCL.
Yeah, I
You
remember
remember
you
that?
said that before me back in before. I forgot about that.
That was wild. Yeah.
That's funny.
This one's in that same kind of vein. Um, Started on three body problem. I couldn't take it. I was like, sorry, it just wasn't my thing. Maybe I need to sit down and get more into it, but my headspace isn't for that right now.
Did you how far did you get to it?
Two
Did,
episodes?
oh man, you didn't get to the best part, the boat scene.
Yeah, I'll get there one day.
No, you do need to go at least watch that scene, man. The boat scene. Yeah, just Google it and just look it up, and it.
I'll sit back and watch it. But I was saying when I do this, I'm like checking out the first episode or whatever. I might rewatch the first episodes to when I get into it. But um, I ended up getting back to Invincible, so I was like, you know what? Let me get back to Invincible. Finish up season 3 and do my thing. And yeah, I'm digging that. So I'm happy with season 3. Haven't finished it. I'm 4 or 5 episodes in, I believe.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, Invincible's it's a good hang, man. I mean, I remember after watching the first season, I went all in and read all the books, and I mean, it goes deep, man. As you see, right? They
yeah,
just
yeah.
how deep it goes into relationships, and what Mark is going to become. And it's kind of interesting at the season finale. You'll see it's almost a mini reunion. So I'll leave it at that. For
Oh
those who
man,
watched it, they know what that's about. If you know who's in it and who's playing who,
yeah.
it's kind of funny. So yeah, man, we'll do a quick little roundabout with
So
Invincible.
yeah, so what about you, man? Yeah, you didn't tell me you were in therapy. I know we don't discuss that too much, but I don't suppose you did any AI therapy.
Oh no, no, no. I mean, I've done some therapy before, but not, not AI version. But maybe because I'm too scared of models to reveal too much about myself. But I've always been kind of like that, man. It's just, I don't know these things and what they're gonna do. Now I will use them and learn from them, right? I have my own air gap computer over here where I'm running some experiments,
Yeah,
but
you know what scares me is statistics. Like when it says, 85% of people who play video games and live in Southern California and who grew up in Florida do this. And you're just like, really? Shit.
Interesting.
So it doesn't matter what the result is. It's like either I'm an outlier or I'm in with it. So some reason, what when you put a number on it, it gives me a delineation that I don't like. Like somehow I'm in one of these camps and I can't do anything about it. But that's
Mm.
by numbers, how it is anyway.
It's funny, we think we control have, agency, but they said a good 85% of our lives is not dictated by agencies, it's by, family commitments, nurture, nature and patterns you developed over like stuff you're doing now is probably stuff you've been doing since you were a kid. But
Yeah,
they're so hidden you can't even uncover how to break out of them.
yeah,
So that's crazy. So yeah, so statistics, yeah, they're there for a reason. Yeah, so what I did for fun, man, this week, I watched The Pit. I think I talked about that show about it's like a real-time version of what it's like to be in one day in the ER, starring Noah Wiley. I don't know if you knew, I used to watch a lot of ER back in the day. I think we talked about this back at FAM.
yeah,
So it was on for a long time. It was on for like 15, 16 years. But I used to watch it, and so back in my mind, I said, maybe I should be in surgery or surgeon or something like that. But never went down that path. But yeah, it was a good show, man. It's You gotta check it out. There's a lot of new actors in it. It's kind of exciting. It's just, and we'll talk about it later. It's just new kind of version of show where you are creating shows that keep you more immersive, right? Because sometimes I watch a show. We talk about this all the time, movie or TV, even a movie. Sometimes, right? You just get bored in certain sections, and you know what they're doing it for, right? To slow down the plot, give you some exposition, prepare you for the, build up tension for the. It's like a roller coaster, right? Yeah, it's like a roller coaster, right? To get you excited for the next scene, but it's like slow. You can't all be roller coaster. But I
yeah,
think that what's happening, those old way of storytelling, is too long between the highs and the lows. So when you do these real time shows now, or when I say real time, basically everything's compressed in a day, or they're doing like what they call a one take, where there's no break in the camera action, like that show I talked about, Adolescence.
yeah.
Um, then it becomes more of a like a faster up down down, because you may get bored for a second, but before you finish getting bored, just when you're about to be bored, to look at your phone, oh, someone lost an arm, oh, we gotta fix that arm real quick. Then it slows down, then you say, okay, I'm bored. Oh, a girl drowned in the pool, let's go figure out what happened there.
So we're gonna talk about this in a bit, but I just wanted to jump in. When you're doing cuts in a film, or even in a written story, you cut to somewhere. It's like you you leave the person hanging and you start in with a new point of interest. You know what I mean? So it's like you have two things going on at once. Like, well, hey, wait, what happened there? And wait, why am I here? So your brain has to like work a little to adjust. So that's where we start getting all these fast cuts where it's like, hey, I'm dancing. Oh, look at this. Hey, my father died. Oh, happy birthday. Hey, there's all these there's all these cuts and your brain is trying to keep up. And that's what we're kind of used to now. But what's interesting is if you can maintain tension and keep those one long shots, that one continuous kind of, flowing narrative, it builds a different type of tension where people start to get like almost uncomfortable, where they're like, oh crap, I'm not used to holding this daredevil hallway scene for so long. Oh crap. And it's like that high note when someone sings and you're just kind of wondering how long it's going to last, and it's like they keep on singing that note, and you're just like, okay, okay, it's a boring note. It's that same note, but they're still doing it. They're still doing it, and you just hung there for a second. So yeah, it's amazing that we've got these two extremes happening now, which is really interesting to watch play out.
Yeah, yeah, we'll talk more about that in a second. But you know who else is hanging on for a real long time?
What you got?
LeBron James, the Los Angeles Lakers, man. they're about to they're yes. They're about to go to the playoffs as the third seed. This has been a crazy year for them. They have Luka Doncic, who's probably the one of the most exciting stars. So look, I know this is not a sports pod. I don't really get into all that too much, but I gotta shout out my Lakers. give them a shout out this year, and I think they'll go far. They're going to play the Warriors, Steph Curry. So we'll see what they're going to do in the playoffs this year. But I have a prediction they'll go far. Don't know if they're going to win. I'm not going to say that much, but the playoffs going to be tough. They don't have a lot of big men, but I definitely see they're going to do something big. So I've been watching a lot of basketball. Saw the NCAA. We talked about the NCAA tournament last week. So super excited about the basketball season ending and seeing my Lakers end up on top. But I know haters going to hate, so please hate. I don't care.
Speaking of, quick question on attention: Can your son maintain an entire game of just watching basketball?
Good point. No, he's only 8 still. Yeah, it's tough, man. I mean, especially this generation where they're so used to, TikToks and short form video and stuff.
Yeah,
But he likes playing the game and, being involved in a lot and everything. And so the next phase of just trying to teach him and I wasn't that good at this either, but if he can learn how to think while he's out there and keep the game engaged, there's a game he's playing there and then the game he plays in his head. If he can kind of
yeah,
do both, then I think that's when you become a really great player, right? Because you're looking at the score, you're looking, okay, how many points do I have to make now, to get this many points?
yeah,
This
yeah,
guy, he always shows his left hand, so when he gets the ball again, I can steal it next time. So that's if you can have that track playing in your brain if you're just out there reacting and just doing stuff, then that's that sub level. But that next level, and then the next level from there is like you're playing the ultimate game. Is like I need to practice my jump shot, so I'm going to just shoot 6 threes.
yeah. In the rain,
Yeah, exactly. So I could be ready for just in case this guy comes at me, with this move.
that obsessive focus when that snaps, boy.
Yeah, go read. Do you ever read Kobe, the Mamba Mentality? That gives you a sense of the excessiveness. I mean, that's to the extreme, but that's the level of what you have to think about when you at that high level of a sport. I think at any, what I think that works. That Mamba mentality works for any profession. The way he thought about it.
I'm afraid of that almost because I got into arguments with my parents, and my mom was like, "You can't blah blah blah." I was like, "Look, I got this C++ book and that 386 computer over there. What you gonna tell me? Unplug it or leave me alone."
Mamba mentality. I'm telling you, man. It's. I mean, the stories of Kobe. I'm not
Yeah.
saying a lot of guys are like this, but because there's a time he had broke up with his wife. When he had some incidents and all this other stuff back in the day, with
Hmm.
he was charged with the R word at the time. He the winner back. He learned to play the piano strictly by ear. So he never played piano before, but he was
Hmm.
listening to one song, her favorite song, and he would listen to over and over and just figure out what was the note that they were playing in that song, and he had to learn it. He learned it just by ear. He didn't want to read the notes. He didn't want to
Yes.
learn how to read music. He was just going to be painful and try different things to figure out how this worked, and that's how he wanted one of the things he did to be excessive about winning her back. So yeah, man, it's just another level of work. People think it's at this level. I think Alex Hormozy talks about it. You think success takes this much level, is usually 10 times that. And I think Cardone said that too.
Hormozy said to get the 10x output, you need 100x of
There
the
you go.
input, which is
There you
like,
go.
oh, if you only want 10x output, you don't do 10x the work, you do 100x the work, the
Right.
volume, and that's what changes.
Yep. And people don't realize that. And I'm realizing that more and more between sales, marketing, everything I'm doing is like, oh, this is what they're talking about, man. You think you're going to get some results. I mean, you get lucky sometimes,
Yeah.
but very rarely does that happen. And I think, yeah, obviously, we're all looking for shortcuts, but man, it takes that much effort. So anyway, so I just digress. But sports and professional success go hand in hand.
In the comments, anybody listening, if you have that obsession and you enjoy it or don't enjoy it, let me know. I want to know about some obsessions. We'll talk about them next because this is a recurring topic. I want to hear about some crazy obsessions. We've had ours with Mario Kart,
Mm,
XCOM,
mm.
uh, freaking DirectX programming. I got, man. I got some obsession stories, and I'm actually fight this. I'm gonna go back to my Chat GPT therapy and see if I can break through this, man. Because I'm almost scared of my obsessions now.
Mm, okay. Speaking of which, man, let's get into Comic Corner. Let's talk about what our folks are speaking out to us and talking to us, man. Which one we want to get into first?
Uh, well, we just want first of all, I want to thank our community, our little burgeoning community, getting in there, um, showing us the flames. Like, hey, if we mess something up, flame us, let us know. Uh, put all I want the smoke. Put it in the comments. Give it to me. So let us know what we miss, what we could have added more to, or whatever. So just want general thanks out to the economy, the community. But let's jump into the Naked Gun. That trailer was not my favorite, and reacted to the Naked Gun 2025 trailer. We got some comments on that one. John Waterberg says, "Damn, this is the first reaction to this trailer. I haven't seen someone laugh like crazy, let alone not laugh at all." You laughed. You laughed pretty
I
heartily.
watched it again just to make sure I was saying, and it's funny, man. I thought, I mean, and I'm glad that I'm not in the minority here.
Are you just going to follow the crowd? All right. Uh, and Manchild 1980, great name, says the guy on the right has no sense of humor.
Ooh,
Guess who's on the right side of the screen? Me.
shots fired.
Mr. Benja apparently has no sense of humor. Thank you for letting me know that because if that's what you need to have a sense of humor, I don't know, man. Something about something. I'm not even going to get into it again. I've already gone down that path. Um, Justin's Crazy World TV. So I get what you're saying. This one feels more like Family Guy, whereas the original felt more like Airplane and those type of movies. And I think this is on to something because Seth MacFarlane humor in live action, it doesn't really click for me. Like the
Mhm.
something about the way his live action is filmed doesn't really hit for me. There was like Family
10 Million
Guy
Ways
and
to Die
all
in
the
the West. Yeah,
that
that
one.
was
Yeah.
his film. Yeah, that was weird. And then, but Liam Neeson, I forgot Liam Neeson was in that, so that kind of makes sense why
Oh,
they would
okay.
kind of work
Okay.
together. Charlize Theron was in it, yeah. But he also did what was that thing? The Orville. It was a ripoff of Star Trek. For he ran for a couple of seasons on
Right,
Fox,
right. I
and it was
heard
a
that was good.
weird
Never check it
mix.
out.
It was weird mix though. It was like it was trying to be kind of his goofball funny, but then try to be serious at the same time. So it's yeah, Seth MacFarlane, man. He's got interest and he's a show tunes guy, just a animator, just a weird mix of everything in that guy. But
Yeah, like wait a minute. He was responsible for Ted, is that correct?
yeah, he did Ted. Yep, I forgot
Okay.
about
So
that.
Ted was interesting. Ted was about the funniest one that I think that he's been a part of.
Live action. You never liked
Live
Family
action.
Guy? You never
No,
liked
no,
Family Guy?
Family Guy's cool.
Yeah.
But that's it. As I said, I think that for some reason the cartooniness of it works for me. I think to translate that, there's maybe a different switch for me at least. But but no, I'm glad that people are out there digging it and liking it because I think there's a place in this world for people to have a mad sour sense of humor and think this is great. 'Cause,
Yeah. It's
shots fired.
ooh, the community is not amused. 'Cause-
We need to post
but
the link to the. We need to post the link to that Star Wars one we had where you didn't think I was serious.
oh yeah, James, maybe you can find that one. But
I'll I'll remember to post it. I'll post it in there.
uh
Okay. Last one
what's the
is
next
for
one?
you. Last one is for you. From our final four is rigged. Short. Unexpected run said Ed and his brother were great at UCLA. And let's be honest, the NCAA stole billions from young male athletes.
Yeah, and I would say young female athletes as well.
Oh,
But yeah, yeah, definitely, man. Ed Brent Bannon, I remember him, man. I grew up in LA, so I remember UCLA years fondly and USC and all the great players that came out of those two programs. And, it just came to a point where I mean, it was a farce anyway. I mean, if you watch the Final Four this last year, it was such a farce.
Mhm.
These guys are these basketball players are no longer college students; they're professional basketball players. They get paid like they don't get paid millions of dollars, but they're definitely getting paid something, to play ball for like not just 4 years anymore. It's like 4, 5, 6 years. They introduced them no longer as a junior or freshman, but as a graduate student. So these guys have been there a long time. And I guarantee that if this is their fourth school in 4 years, they ain't been going to
Right,
too many
right.
classes. So
Oh yeah, that's right. They just pop in and pop out.
yeah, pop in, pop out. Whoever's giving money, they go to the next school. Matter of fact, the guy that was on Houston, he came from the Baylor Final Four team, which just won, or that just won a couple years ago. So yeah, man, this is more realistic of what this is about. But it is somebody, something I'm thinking about as a father of a young son who's trying to be into this thing. High school players, man, I don't know where they're gonna fit in college ball. So it's going to be interesting because now they can just get the players from other colleges now, and these coaches admitted as much. They're like, "Oh, I'm not looking for any high school players." So it's like, well, damn. So where you go as a high school player, you gotta start as a junior college or somewhere and get some reps up, and you hope one of these big time programs said, "Theo, you're good enough. Here's some NIL money, NIL money. Here's 500,000. Come play with us at Louisville." So yeah, man. So yeah, shout out to commenters who recognized the millions that were stole, well, billions that were stole from young athletes. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's cool? $1 billion.
You know what's cool? Yeah, yeah,
What you
exactly.
you $1 billion.
That's
Shout out
such
to
a
Mark Z.
that's such a startup guy, with vision. That's what they would say, something stupid like that. Just like you, what if we everybody got a cap to put on their water? That would be amazing. Just the most obscure things that's just so obvious. But anyway,
Yeah.
Mr.
Uh,
Benja, we're gonna get into the main one today.
yeah, man. So we bat around a lot of stories, and we're gonna bat around a lot more. But man, we have got a phenomenon going on, and w there's more to it than meets the eye. There's more to it than just people being silly. It is the chicken jockey from Minecraft, the Minecraft movie, and we thought we were done with it. The Minecraft movie, to be honest, we're like, all right, came out, did its thing, got a lot of money the opening weekend, cool. We're done talking about it. This week, there was a bunch of craziness going on in theaters. People throwing popcorn, people throwing drinks, bringing in toilet paper rolls, people bringing in live chickens for the scene about the chicken jockey. It's madness out there. And you know what? At first, for a very split second, I had this little, oh, how dare they desecrate the theater like that? But then I laughed and was like, you know what? Theaters need this. Theaters need the chicken jockey. This is the hype that theaters need. All this stuffy stuff that's been going on before. Chicken jockey.
I mean, I could not. I mean, it was. This is weird how this came about because they introduced this whole scenario in in the trailer. So I mean, we talked about it, right? When we did the trailer review, right, or the trailer reaction. So it was like, to us, we did. I think we just weren't the audience, so we didn't get it. So of course, I had my 8-year-old son or my 9-year-old son next to me, and basically he's explaining everything to me. I'm like, "What's that about? This is it." So he told me that I guess chicken jockeys are very rare in Minecraft, and so that's another thing that was exciting about it. So, but then when you watch it, now that I'm looking at it again, it sounds like a roller coaster, right? You have Jack Black sitting there, it's a fight to the death, kid, and then you got Jason Momoa looking crazy, and then this crate comes down and it sounds like a roller coaster, click 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 click, and it stops and it's dead silence, and then the thing drops down and it says chicken jockey, and then everybody goes crazy, but it's just like, why? Because I just don't get it, man. Maybe I'm just not the audience for it, but it's just something dumb to be dumb about, I guess.
So what's hilarious to me is you actually tried to explain it.
I'm sitting. It was that Charlie Day meme. I'm over the wall, scribbling down like this,
Can't
trying to figure
explain
this
Dick
out.
and Jockey. I am Steve. And by the way, that's not the only meme. There's a whole
Mhm.
series of memes throughout the movie, and it kind of reminds me of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, where there
Yes,
are parts in it where people will just cut up and act up.
but
And
the movie is terrible, man. I mean, it's so much exposition in it. I mean, like half the stuff you don't understand. I don't get it, man. But this is what the kids like, man. Maybe because I didn't play Minecraft. Maybe Mario Brothers was as bad, but I kind of glossed over it because I knew all the eggs, the Easter eggs.
yeah, so let me put this on it. It's not about the movie. It's
Mm.
about the Instagram shots. It's about the community. It's about posting the video to social media. Like when everybody went to that theater, everybody knew they were going to that theater and they were going to be recording how crazy they went. And the guy, there's one guy who was at the theater. He came out and said, "Hey, I went to this movie. Everybody knew what was happening. They knew all the memes. They were ready for it." He said, 15 minutes in, they stopped the movie, and the manager came in. 15 minutes in, right? And basically said, "Hey, you damn kids better calm down, or I'm kicking all of you out. No refunds. I'm done. Y'all better calm down." And they were like, "Yes, sir. Yes, sir." So manager leaves, and they're kind of giggling and holding it in. But when the chicken jockey scene comes back on, that's the moment where you see everybody erupt because the manager was telling them not to go nuts. So they go nuts, popcorn's flying, the screen goes off, lights turn on, man, everybody comes back out. All right, that's it. Everybody out, everybody out. I don't care if there was like 30 more minutes in the movie. And there's a ton of people who haven't seen the whole movie, but have been doing this thing. It's hilarious to me. I mean, because wait a minute, you're spending money on the ticket, the popcorn, the drinks.
Don't matter.
It's,
It's
I
yeah,
love it.
it's the community. I mean, so I think this is of a piece, right?
Yeah.
What's going on with movie theaters now? We talked about, man, we've been talking about this since the pandemic, right? Since 2021, man. But what's bringing movies back, right? What's going to get people back into theaters? And this is pure business, marketing, invent making movies an event. Why do you want to get up and pay good money to see a movie when you can wait in some cases 3 weeks for a movie to show up on your TV, right? With streamers. So it's kind of like you have to kind of do this. If you don't, people are not going to go watch it. And I think Hollywood started to embrace that. I mean, we talked, we kind of listed a few here, right? Gimmicks to keep people engaged. We talked about the Barbenheimer phenomenon, right? This whole mix of Barbie and Oppenheimer, two movies that can be totally different, and they benefit from each other. Was that last summer to get people to go and watch? People actually dressed up as both characters, right? To watch them, or are you going to watch them both in the same night? Things like that, and that became a thing. And they both benefited where they both I think Oppenheimer got 900 million and Barbie of course got over $1 billion for this phenomenon.
Now that one was organic, but it was one of those that was played in with the studios played into it as well. Like you have, I wouldn't say it's not 100% organic, but when you have a situation where you're releasing movies, it's always like, well, here's a big movie and here's another big movie. Do we want to put them up against each other? But wait a minute. In this case, they're completely different demographics. So if you get the family going out to the movies the entire week for the weekend, then you may have, the mom and the daughter may go check out Barbie while, the man and the uncle, go see Oppenheimer, and that's a way to also play against two different types of movies. But so that one kind of worked if in terms of marketing plus organic.
And I completely missed that one. I took my daughter on a whim on a Thursday.
Yeah.
People were dressed up in pink.
Hmm.
Women were all ready to go. I said, "Oh, I'm sorry,
Oh,
Layla. I did not know that this was." I'm coming in, my Laker hat on, my black on, and she didn't dress up or anything. I said, "Oh," my wife said, "Oh, you didn't know?" I like no. I mean, I'm on social media, but I'm not on social media, so I don't know when these memes are taking off. But yeah, that was one. We talked about Wicked, another movie that came out this last or in the December time frame. That's a famous uh, Broadway play that finally got to the big screen. But then the songs are legendary. You can listen to them even before the movie came out, and people were singing. And matter of fact, the movie theaters embraced it, and they had a whole campaign where it was a sing along in January where you go watch it again and sing along when it came out, and that was weird. Um, the popcorn buckets, Mr. Benja. I'm trying to think, when was the time when these popcorn buckets became a thing? It just seemed it was around the pandemic. I can't remember what was the first one that did that. I got the one for Black Panther 2. I just had to,
Oh
because it
Lord.
was cool. Yeah, I had to support Black Panther. But it was before that. So, because Black Panther 2 came out, what, 2023, I want to say? Um, but,
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question. I'm asking Grok right now.
oh, that came out in 2022. Wow. So, they had it back then. So I got that one. Dang. So I'm trying to think. Yeah, what does Grok tell us? When was the first weird popcorn bucket?
I said, who marketed the first successful popcorn bucket? Disney apparently started it because they were doing it in their theme parks with the
Yes.
Disney popcorn buckets. And I think, okay, so theaters caught on afterwards from the parks. Okay, that makes sense.
I just can't remember, but it was a big one. But then, of course, you had the Deadpool Wolverine, and the most famous of all, the Dune bucket. It was so famous as a SNL clip. I'm sure James, you'll find it posted on one of our shorts. But there was a clip of SNL of the Dune bucket and how kids were going to have fun with it after they watched the movie.
Okay, yeah. So AMC is credited with marketing the first successfully themed popcorn bucket in the US, specifically the R2D2 bucket for Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker in 2019.
Oh yeah, I do
Priced,
remember that.
I know you tried to wipe out Rise of Skywalker in your mind,
Yeah,
but
that's one of
priced
the few. Go ahead.
yeah, priced at $49.99, it sold out in days and proving the demand for collectible vessels and sparking a trend. So yeah, Disney themselves took it from their theme parks to the theaters with Rise of Skywalker for a $50 bucket. Man. Um,
It's probably worth more now. Think about it.
so that yeah, the connection with AMC though, because AMC did it with Disney and AMC continued it with Dune and others. All right.
I mean, anytime there's a movie now, there's pretty much a popcorn bucket. I mean, what movie came out recently that was supposed to be? Oh, Snow White was supposed to be a big thing, right? And they have a popcorn bucket for that. It kind of flamed out, but they were ready just in case. uh And then, so those are like the marketing gimmicks, right? To kind of get people. And then there's some other things from pricing. I think they were trying to experiment with, 3D is still out there. That was a big thing. They got the IMAX theaters, of course, that's been around for a while. They were trying to do dynamic pricing where certain seats were priced differently than other seats to kind of get you to come. Uh, Tuesday, $5 Tuesdays, we had that at the Governor Square Mall at Tallahassee. Which one had the movie theaters? Didn't they both have the movie theaters back in the
Well, the
day?
AMC that we liked was close to it was in the Tallahassee Mall.
Yeah.
It was like easy parking and
Yeah.
stadium seating.
Couple dollars that you go and go see a movie. And so yeah, man, those are good times, man. Slower times back then. It's like things took for a while. It seemed like it took a while to get the movie was out for like three years before it left the theaters. But anyway, so yeah, stuff like that, man, is just trying to entice people. But what about on the show side?
So yeah, okay, that's straight from the marketing and slash business side. From the actual content side of things, where people have been trying to, change movies up a little bit. What do these things mean? The biggest change up we've seen in a while was the whole MCU phenomenon. So I want to start there, and that was this whole thing of what if we made a series of connected movies? No, wait, not only movies, um, television shows, and were the comics involved with the MCU too, or I'm not sure how strongly connected they were in terms of like the whole "it's all connected" hashtag and stuff that they were using. because I wasn't reading comics at that time. I'd stopped, but that was the big thing, and that led to Easter eggs, the big post credit scenes, the whole phenomenon of, hey, go watch this movie, buy this merch, and after the movie's over, you're not even talking about the movie you're in, you just saw. You're talking about what the next movie is going to be because you came out and you're like, oh my gosh, that was Thor's hammer at the end of. Oh, dude, you know what this means? Thor's coming and blah blah blah. You're not even talking about the movie that you just saw. So it's never ending storytelling, and I think that I mean that's just the big change up that I've seen lately. And
Well, let's talk about that. That was a time that never ended storytelling. It resolved itself in a very emotional, cathartic way where you got reactions in the theater and became an event, right? And so what I'm talking about is when Captain America, you know, they got the reveal that everybody came back and he finally said Avengers Assemble and everybody went ah. You ever see those?
yeah, man, yeah,
So from the show side, the content side, it actually created an event where people wanted to be in the theater because it was a culmination of what 10 years of storytelling. So that was genius. It took 10 years to get to that moment, but when you got to that moment, it became an event. And so unlike now where they're trying to manufacture events.
yeah. That was a whole separate thing. But now they're still trying to play around a little bit with Easter eggs and the content. I don't know how. I mean, you can't plan something like the Minecraft, whatever. You just have to make. People are going to make weird things and put it in a movie and hope it goes viral. I mean, now you know what I mean. So what are they doing now? Because the classic idea of like people in Hollywood will still tell you this. It's all about the story, and it's like, yeah, you know what, dude, a story. I mean, yeah, I do really like a good story, but am I going to get up and go to the theater to see it?
Especially now, man. That's the thing. I think marketing becomes that much more important because it's not a habit anymore. Remember, it used to be a hate behavior. You go on a date, or oh, new movies come out every Friday. Oh, let's see what's new. Oh, I love Denzel Washington. He's got a new movie out now. With streaming, you're like, I could watch that. I can watch that on the iPod, like me and my wife always say. It's just like watch it later. It's no big deal. So you're right, man. It's totally. I mean, Mr. Benja, we talk about this on our show. I'm the one that watches a lot of content. I go out to the movies. When's the last time you went to the movies?
Dude, I have to open up my Fandango. I don't even remember. But
Exactly.
I remember I got it off of Fandango. It was after the Matrix 4. I think that one soured me, so it kind
Wow.
of just
Well, you
wiped a
saw
lot of my.
Deadpool and Wolverine, but I mean,
Oh yeah. That's right.
yeah,
That was the last one.
that was probably the most recent one, but that was almost a year ago. So
Yeah,
wow. So
and
yeah.
I didn't
So
even buy the popcorn bucket
I
because it
think I
was
broke down and
disgusting.
got it. I think I got the Deadpool one. That was kind of cool. So
Disgusting. No, the so okay, this is actually a good question. It's like, you do it by habit or whatever. I'm sitting here thinking there are all these different ways that we could really break the movie theater mold, and I think theaters will die before they start embracing this stuff. But and we're going to talk about it with the Megan trailer later. Interactivity is going to be interesting. Um, as I said, we'll talk about it more later. But they're making some I don't want to say scenes, but they're allowing certain interactivity with your phone as the movie's going on.
that's going
That
to end
could
up great.
that could be interesting.
That's
I,
gonna
I
be
think that
great.
it's gonna what?
That's gonna be crazy.
I don't know about this movie, but I could see it really working in a lot of cases
I mean, it
where
could work for horror films. I could definitely see that. The 3D, they tried to make
how
the 3D. Well, what if certain if everybody puts their phones in
uh-huh.
relation to where you have your phone, if there's a creature that got away in the theater
Oh, a ghost or
in the
something
movie,
like
yeah, a ghost or something, and then a light starts shining in the back of your, yeah, you're like, what's that? Like a Twister tried to do that. Twisters, I think I told you about that scene, right? They actually had a Twister in the movie.
oh yeah, yeah.
They were in the theater in the movie, and the twister was coming through the screen of the theater inside the movie. And so you're in the movie
Yeah.
theater. So maybe I'm not explaining this well, but you're in the movie, you're watching a movie of a movie theater. And
Yeah.
so, and everybody just sitting there having a good time like you. So they're watching the movie like us. And then now he goes a big old twister coming through this thing. So they're trying to, make it more immersive and put you in there. So I could definitely see kind of some kind of immersive environment. You remember how Netflix, even though it was on streaming, Netflix did that with Bandersnatch. Remember that
Yeah.
experiment where it's interactive kind of storytelling. So it'll be interesting to see what they do because you're right. I think they're going to have to embrace some of this new fangled way. There was a movie too. So when we talk about content, one way they're doing it is with these long takes, these what they call oneers,
Hmm.
or a day in the life of of characters. And I just saw this movie called Warfare, and it was the guy Alex Garland who just did Civil War. I don't know if you heard about that movie, and it's
Right.
basically a one take of a real army was it army or marines, but anyway, during Iraq in 2006, and it was like a minute by minute recreation of this battle that they had.
Yeah.
It was intense. I mean, they had moments of quiet, and all of a sudden uh, a grenade would just drop out of nowhere. People, or they were walking these crippled guys over to the battlefield, and IED went off.
Yeah. Kablam. Right.
Yeah, it was like you're immersive, right? And they said, "Where do we go?" He said, "Just follow the blood and the smoke." And you're just like in the smoke, and the hearing changes to like your hearing would, not react. So that's kind of like that
Yeah.
immersive real time effect to kind of draw you in with the content, basically.
Now, what's interesting is a lot of that is easier to do at home.
Absolutely,
Which
absolutely.
which makes it a double edged sword because, like, if the theaters, you know, innovate in a lot of these technologies, then somebody like Microsoft with their Xbox or Sony on the PlayStation are going to be like, we can do that at home, right? Hey, somebody call somebody in the whatchamacallit department and send some of our boys over to Netflix, see what they're doing, and let's take this away from the theaters and screw them.
There's something about that communal effect of being in the theater with people where, something's funny and no one's laughing, or there's something funny and only a few people laughing, right? Or maybe the whole theater's laughing and you're just like, oh, wow, that really didn't work. Or people clapping, in the middle of the movie. That happens like very rarely. Now, at the end of the movie, that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Like there's one movie. What movie? Oh yeah, Minecraft. People start clapping. I tell my kids, I'm not clapping for that crap. I refuse.
So okay, I'm just really quick brainstorming. If you're inside a theater, if you've paid with your phone or whatever, and you have the app, you could run a lottery. Somebody gets a free popcorn somehow. Let's say the person is, let's say they're gambling in the movie, right? In the scene of the movie is they're gambling, and it's like somebody's about to win big, and right when he rolls the dice, your phone vibrates, and you jump up and scream, it's me," right when the people in the movie start screaming. So guy comes out, hands you a popcorn and a drink, and everybody starts clapping for you as the scene in the movie is clapping. Not terribly difficult to do. Um, whatever. Or you have something like everybody's in the theater and there's a somber scene where it's like, hey, half the people died, and all of a sudden every other phone, like and there's a big X on it. It's like, oh man, I would have been one of the ones who died, and you're like elbowing your friend. Did you die? No, man, I'm alive. Oh, punk. There's so many weird and interesting things you could do that play with the technology in the in a big group setting, and it doesn't have to be that exciting. It just has to be something that resonates.
Well, you
So
could be like Francis Ford Coppola. Did you hear about
mhm.
his movie called Megalopolis that came out earlier this year
Yeah, what about it?
or last year? It was weird. It was out there, right? But he has a scene where there's the character on the screen. He interacts with an actor, a live actor,
Oh
in the
yeah,
movie
yeah, stuff like
theater.
that. Hmm.
Yeah, it's like what? So how are we going to do that? How is that going to scale? But it was different. And so things like that. Talking
That,
to the
that,
audience to the whole time, right? In the
yeah,
fourth. what's it called? The
Breaking the fourth wall.
yeah, breaking the fourth wall, right? Where you talk to the audience the whole time. They actually had a movie called Copper. Was it Copper Boys? It was based on basically it was told from a perspective in the eyes of a young boy, and you saw everything from his perspective, right? So if you saw his face, you only see him looking at himself in the mirror. So that was a perspective. And then they had something similar where they did a ghost story told from the ghost perspective. So everything the ghost saw, you saw. So yeah, man. So content can be evolved and do different things.
Okay, yeah. And you got me thinking. There's one other aspect I'd like to introduce. It's the idea of like you we were talking about Ghost, augmented reality. If the entire screen is kind of like this augmented reality base with markers on it and everything, if you're actually searching for the ghost, you're looking for secret clues or whatever. Like if you're watching a Ghostbusters movie and you held up your phone to the screen and it does like the ghost, spectral analysis on it, and it's like, ooh, oh, the ghost is over in the corner. Oh my gosh, I didn't recognize that the last 8 times I watched the movie. Oh my god, you know,
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, with kind of like the Pokemon. Got to catch them all. Pokemon Go. You're in the theater, catch all the ghosts. In the theater. I mean, Ghostbusters. I mean, they just had a couple of Ghostbuster movies. They could absolutely did something like that, right? Or or you could play with time. I mean, Memento. I mean, that came out what 30 years ago almost, but they played with time. They took. I never see a movie do that since Memento. Tell a story backwards
yeah.
and
So
and keep you on your edge, or
yeah,
or like Pulp Fiction, tell it in different
yeah,
versions, right? Or different the timelines all switched around, right? And so you have to piece it together. So stuff like that, man. I mean, they can do more creative stuff, but I don't know.
they will die first because that's how these theater bums are. AMC is going to die before they realize they should have done this. Netflix will do it. Then somebody like Paramount Plus will do some busted version that Netflix steals. That's how it's going to happen. And everyone's going to be doing it at home while the theaters die away and become something different. What they become, I don't know. If you're out there listening, let us know what you think. I think this is really interesting. Any ideas on, what theaters could do, what you could do at home? Is there any interactivity you would like to see with your devices and the movie screen, or do you not want to see interactivity like that? Because I'm sitting down watching a movie, getting all into it, and somebody pulls out their phone next to me so they can check the data, the Bat database, from the Bat computer, and
I,
like, why are you
I,
doing that? I'm
I
watching
do not
Batman, man.
like that. I do not like
Mm.
that, Sam. I do not like people with cameras in their hand at all because I told you how I got spoiled by Scream back in the day because of a talkie person. I think I told you it was way back when I was at FAM. Went to go see Scream, the first Scream ever. Everybody's super excited about this movie, and then in the very first scene, someone runs out and laughs. Spoiler alert, guys!
Oh,
For a long
so
movie, he says it's the boyfriend, ha 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 ha, and walks out. And somebody said, "Shut up, bitch." So I'm scarred for life, man. When people talk in theaters.
yo, that's mad comedy. That's great. Chicken jockey boy.
Chicken jockey, man. That was chicken jockey before chicken jockey. Somebody said, "Shut up." So yeah, man. It's
All
fun
right.
times, man. Let's do it.
You want to get into those trailers now before we get out of here?
Yeah, let's do what we do, man.
All right. So we have trailers. We got three of them. We're gonna do Mission Impossible, Megan, and Predator: Killer of Killers. Three good ones this week. So let us start off with this is the trailer reaction for Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning, the last one in the series, and we're just gonna get straight into it. And three, two, one, play.
This can't all be true.
Every word.
CIA Black Vault break-in.
Am I reading this correctly? The Kremlin bombing?
In fairness, the bomb was actually meant to kill him.
He gassed a security briefing.
That was just 2 months ago.
This explains the handcuffs. It's still not clear why he's here. If we want to bring the world back from the brink, we have to deal with him. Should he choose to accept?
Smart people on every side are close to panicking. What exactly is your plan?
Your team has been betrayed, Ethan. All your secrets compromised. Everything you are, everything you've done, has come to this. You gave him an aircraft carrier?
Our lives are the sum of our choices. This is your calling, your destiny. I have no regrets. Neither should you.
I need you to trust me. One last time.
Okay.
Yes, I'm all for it.
Well,
so
I got to ask you the $1,000,000 question. Did you watch the first one?
Yeah, why?
No, I'm talking about the one that happened last year or 2 years ago.
Oh, no.
See? and so marketing 101. This is actually a second part of the first movie that came out 2 years ago, but it got pushed to the side because of Barbenheimer.
Yeah.
And that was very good. I saw it, and it was really good, man. But no one talked about it because it got pushed to the side. This one, I'm kind of hype about it. I mean, I watched all of them. I mean, it's just Tom Cruise doing what he does, man. He's gonna try to kill himself in one of these movies. So let's watch it and see what Obviously, he didn't die this time, so let's see what he did.
Tom Cruise or Ethan, one of them's going to kill themselves or both?
I'm talking about the actor himself. He does all the stunts now, right? And all these movies. He's like 65 years old out there, man, doing all these stunts. And so
that's pretty impressive.
I mean, if you got unlimited resources, money, new knees, new hair, new face.
Yeah.
They can make you look like anything.
You saw him do the Olympics opening, right?
Yeah, the dude crazy, man. This is what he does. This is what he does.
I love your take. Yeah, I'm not impressed. He's crazy.
I mean, I'm going to watch it. It's not, I'm not, it was it didn't matter what this trailer was. I was going to see it anyway. That's just, what I was about. But for you, for some who probably hasn't seen these movies in the theaters, would this be enough to get you go to the theater?
No, I think I've seen most of them in theaters. It's just the last one I missed.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, I do like these in the theater because of the big bombastic scenes and everything, and the high stakes. Hanging off the side of an airplane, with his hair whipping back, and like, I'm Tom Cruise, I'm about to die.
And it's so full of TV actors in that movie. I saw like folks from Severance, from Ted Lasso, the Nick Offerman who was in Parks and Rec. It was just like chock-a-block full of, hey, I know that guy.
Yeah, it's a send-off, right?
Is it? Is it though?
Does it make for another franchise, and other people going to come in?
Is it though? Then they always say it.
You can't put Cruise in a wheelchair and have him be like, "I'm too old for this." Nah, he's going to do something.
Well, the rumor was when Jeremy Renner was in there for a hot second.
Yeah,
the rumor was he was going to take over for him, but
Didn't
Tom
know
Cruise
that.
said, "Hell nah, son." He was in 2 movies. They said he was out. He's like, I'm done. It's kind of like The Rock. Remember the Rock got into the Fast and Furious franchise,
and
And
he's
now
out.
he's trying to break out. So
Yeah, just look like old man to you. Okay, so what's interesting about the Mission Impossible movies that I didn't know up until this watching this trailer. I found this out a couple weeks ago. The way they film and construct these movies is they figure out all the scenes that they want to do. Like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if I was hanging off an airplane? Wouldn't it be cool if I did this? And hey, let's do this stunt with this new type of camera. Hey, there's these new explosives, so I can blow up a building in this way and it'll be safe and the timing would be so perfect I can blah blah blah. And I just learned how to, do these tricks on a motorcycle, and then I also know how to ride a unicycle, so I can jump off the motorcycle and onto the unicycle, and it'll be crazy, right?
and do a black flip. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Do a backflip with an Uzi on a unicycle. Ah! So they figure out all these crazy scenes, whiteboard them all out, and start figuring out how they can do the scenes and who can do the scenes with him and everything like that.
Well, I mean,
So
the plot of the movie? You mean basically they come with the scenes first, then come with the plot, or what?
That's what I'm getting at. They start all the scenes of the movie, and then they string the plot along after it. Most of the times, whenever they're doing an action scene, sometimes they won't even call out the other character's name because the other character's name hasn't been written yet. They'll just like, come on, grab my hand, instead of like, Emma, grab my hand, like you would normally say. So they just do all these scenes. They figure out what works. They run it multiple times with like slight variations. Like, well, maybe you should take a fall first. It's like, what if this character has some certain kind of beef with me? Yeah, okay, let's do that scene again, except you're mad at me for this reason instead of this reason. So they'll do all the action scenes, all that first, and then they just string that together into a movie. That's why when you think about any of the Mission Impossible movies, you can't really remember the story. You just remember all these action scenes because it's constructed that way.
Yeah, you're right, man. That's a good point, because I can recall when that movie came out last year. I forgot it was Dead Reckoning 1 or whatever. They had two things. They had a train scene and they had a car chase scene. Now, that summer, I always watched Indiana Jones had a train scene, and Fast and Furious had obviously a car scene set in the same city, Rome. So I watched Mission Impossible, blew both those action scenes out the water. The car scene was phenomenal in Rome, and then the train scene, it was just non-ending. So it kind of makes sense what you're saying. They put all the money into that, and Tom Cruise, professional, I guess, trainer / physician, right? so that's where all the money went, and so it shows, man. The plot is nonsensical, right? Who knows? They'll just make it up as they go along. But yeah, okay, that kind of makes sense now. So
So wait, how does the villain get from here to there? Well, actually, it can just be the other guy, and he takes his mask off. There you go. Write that up.
I know, man. It's just, they just what they call the story credits. So basically, anybody that you see the written by, and they got like 20 names by it, that someone like came out of a pickle pickle. They're like, what if we do this? Okay, great. You're a producer now. You get a writing credit.
Yes.
So yeah, man. All right, what's next?
All right, this is the Megan 2.0 trailer. Crazy new stuff. Didn't think it'd make it number 2, but we got it in 3, 2, 1, play.
How do I say goodbye?
I'll admit, there were some bugs in my programming. It's hardly fair to blame me for that.
What?
But one thing hasn't changed. I will do whatever it takes to protect Katie. What the hell is this? You put me in this plastic Teletubby?
Prove you can be trusted, maybe we'll give you an upgrade.
Oh, Blumhouse.
Mrs. Forrester, we have a problem. We're hunting an autonomous android named Amelia. She was built using your design for Megan.
How's this possible? You deleted it.
Apparently you didn't. Nothing in our arsenal can stop her. She's gone rogue, killing anyone who's contributed to her creation.
I think I did it again.
And you and Katie are next.
how to stop Amelia. She's getting more powerful. Soon she'll be the most dangerous weapon on the planet. Put me in a body and I'll help you stop her.
You remember what happened last time. You threatened to rip out my tongue and put me in a wheelchair.
I was upset.
Look, she wants to help us. Everyone deserves a second chance.
You would like us to rebuild a deranged robot in order to catch another one.
Would you prefer I gave you a printout that you can read at your own pace?
Okay, Megan. Time to give you an upgrade. Anything you'd like to add?
I want to be stronger, faster. Hey, so remember the time I strangled you and set the lab on fire? I want you to know that won't happen again.
Thank you so much.
And while you're at it, make me taller. All right, meat sacks. Let's get to work.
Well, look who came out to play.
I was programmed to protect Katie. The only question is, are you going to stand in my way? Hold on to your vaginas.
I don't care if she did kill 4 people. She is a smoking hot warrior princess.
I'll make you a deal. You can kill Gemma, but don't touch Katie.
Megan.
What is going on, man?
I'm lightheaded. I can't breathe.
Man. This is too much, man. I don't know what I just saw, man. Did you see the? Did you? Well, I always got the $1 million question with you. Did you see the first one?
I did not. I did not. I heard about that weird little dance thing, and I was like, done, not seeing it. Now I understand. I was wrong. I need the T-shirt. I need that little Teletubby toy. I need my popcorn bucket with.
I need the flight suit. I need the flight suit when she was flying in a flight suit. I'm like, oh my god, what is going on?
This is funnier than Naked Gun.
Oh, yeah, I must admit this was hilarious. Well, the thing is, but that's the character. She's so sassy with it, man. Just like and that's what makes it funny, man. I guess they're going all in on the camp, so that's interesting. They're kind of making her anti-hero. I thought they were going to go with the Chucky angle with it. Chucky's just always evil, no matter what. But they're just trying to make this like, hey, she's an anti-hero. She may kill you, but she's gonna, be on the right side at the end, I guess. I don't know. What you think? You seem like they had to bring a bigger, badder villain, so that's what they do.
Bro, they came with the boys to men.
Yes, that threw me off. When they did that, I was done. I was like, okay, I see where they're going with this.
Yes.
In the 90s and the 2000 music, they're targeting us a little bit.
We get the parent, right?
Yeah.
You get us hype and the kids might be into it, but they don't
really
know.
TikTok dance. You saw that TikTok dance. Yeah, that was hot. That was fire.
This is gonna bring back the robot.
Uh-oh. Yeah, man. I can't believe I saw that, man. That was that's and real talk, the person, Keela Cooper, that's the sister. She wrote this. She came up with Megan and wrote it, and so now she's getting all the money for this.
That's wild. That's wild. So as we mentioned before, in the full podcast, they're also doing what a lot of people don't like is that they're going to, well, actually with the Megan re-release, they're going to re-release the first Megan and allow a special technology for you to have a second screen experience. So you bring your phone into the movie and it'll unlock exclusive content, trivia, and interesting behind the scenes stuff in real time. So I'm guessing like the Amazon X-Ray while you're watching the movie, information about what's going on, what's happening, maybe the music and the actors. I don't know. But it's opening the door to interesting ways of interacting with the movie and technology, which makes sense for this young Megan type of character. So they're pushing bounds, man. And this is what I'm not the demographic for this. but I am entertained by what is being shown here, and I
I'm
may
there
be in
for it.
there with a bunch of
I think I'm
people.
there opening night, man. I think I might be wearing the wig and all, man. This is funny, man. I'm reading the comments here. Megan flying a squirrel suit is something I never knew I needed to see. Facts. Facts. They said, yo, from horror to action is crazy. They said
So
the
the
switch
first
from
one was
horror
released
to
for.
action is actually insane. I'm all in for this. Yes, the first one was straight horror. It's kind of like the Chucky. If you've seen
Right.
Chucky films, is it real? Is it not? And it comes to kill you. But yeah, they're switching to, like someone said, this is like switching from to sci-fi action, and people are like feeling it, man. I'm not gonna lie. Them going to Terminator 2 route is actually surprising, but a welcome one. I would agree. I didn't think that's what's throwing me off. It was a horror, and now they're trying to make this into like a Terminator type movie, where it's an anti
Yeah.
bad guy. I'm there for it. And matter of fact, that's exactly what happened to Terminator. They're probably taking
Yeah.
this page out of Terminator. Terminator was a villain in the first one. He
Hmm.
became the good guy to go after a bigger bad guy in Terminator 2.
Yeah.
And
And
that's what they're going with this.
yeah, and it was much more action based instead
Yeah.
of the horror tension. And
Yes.
someone in the comments said Terminator 2 plus Chucky plus Deadpool. I'm sold.
Yeah. Yeah, because she's a little snarky too. So whereas, I love it. Yeah, man. Dude, dare I put that 1 billion on this?
Ooh, just gonna get the Theo 1 billion stamp of approval.
Nah, it's not gonna be up there, but it's gonna get some money, man. I see. At first, I was like, I don't know, because if it went through the same horror route, which it could have, then cool. But I think it was smart to look at Terminator 2 as a template, and I think once they did that, they unlocked something here, because people love the character, man. That dance
Yeah.
tells it all. You saw the dance, you were there for
Yeah.
it. So it's uh
Huh.
matter of fact, go look on Saturday Night Live. They have a Megan 2.0 Saturday Night Live that they did a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So there you go. This is predestined to happen. So here we are.
So I am looking through the comments and I am wondering, I need more Megan merch, not for me. I need more Megan merch. I need more, some Megan popcorn buckets,
Oh, it will be there.
t-shirt. Oh, this is being undersold, dog.
Oh, it's
Wait,
coming
when
out
is
in
when is
June. Oh, dude, this might make a Billy, dude. This might make a Billy.
why was that so good for me? Why was this trailer so good? Oh man.
This might make a Billy.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to download the Megan chatbot that Collider.com was talking about a second ago. Man, I'm all in for this. This is dumb, but I'm all in for it.
Let's
I don't know
do
what
it,
happened to
man.
me.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Whew. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't think I should watch this trailer, but now I'm sold. All right. All right. You ready for the last one?
Yeah, let's do this last one.
This is the never before seen trailer reaction for Predator, Killer of Killers. Starting in 3, 2, 1, play.
Oh man.
You are old enough now. It's time I tell you about the monster. We must kill it, or
Mm. Okay.
All right, solid. I'm a hater, so I got to say my first thing real quick. Uh, why are you showing the Predator?
Mm.
I mean, I liked it. I thought it was cool. I liked the animation, the look, and everything. But I actually grew up with the Predator, and them not showing the Predator was key to that movie, and it's been a part of the franchise. So it's just interesting that they're showing so much right off the bat like this.
Yeah, and this is the first animated version of it. I guess they wanted to give you a sense of what it could look like in animated form. So I wasn't too thrown away with that. It's just it looks like we're gonna get little vignettes, right? I mean, you're reading the comment or the description. It says Viking Raider, Ninja, and a World War II pilot. So it looks like three different stories and how they kind of deal with the Predator in their in their timeline, right? And so I mean, the thing about Predator movies, man, they're always kind of unbelievable to me because, like, the protagonist that beats them, like Prey, for instance, this is the same director who did Prey.
Right.
Ain't no way in hell that little girl could have beat the Predator, man. Yeah, she got off on some technicality. Have you seen the movie?
Yeah.
Like, or like Danny Glover, right? In Los Angeles. Like, come on, man. Now, Arnold Schwarzenegger, okay, I can believe that a little bit. But after he had to kill, the Predator killed his whole team, his badasses, right? But it's just like I never really got that whole, last person standing against the Predator. In all instances, the only time it was believable when it was Alien versus Predator, and they went at each other.
Mm-hmm.
That was believable, but we got no
Yeah,
chance against no Predator, man. Get the hell out of here with that mess.
but it works because the concept is so strong. The concept really pulls the whole thing through. It's like, hey, this crazy alien, they have a supposedly a one-on-one, but then somehow the one-on-one, I don't want to say gets hokey, but gets a little weird. Like, the Predator's chasing you and then twists his ankle.
Yeah,
Because,
exactly. That's what I mean. Just like all of a sudden he's gonna play nice. I'm gonna take all my knives down, take off my shirt. Now I'm gonna fight you. I'm like, wait a minute, you had all this stuff the whole time, with nets and the little
Yeah.
triangle, red triangle zoom. Now all of a sudden you want to play fair? Come on.
Yeah, and they could have that make sense, but the story just never allows for it. It just kind of happens, right? So, I mean, yeah, exactly. So, tighten up your game, Predator. But I'm liking what this is. So this is an anthology. Let's see. I'm not getting much information on how this whole thing is going to be structured. So it's going to be released on June 6th, 2025 on Hulu and on Disney Plus. It's the sixth film and eighth installment overall in the Predator franchise. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any more information on like number of episodes or?
No, I don't have anything on this one. Like I said, I heard about it, but I didn't check it out until we watched the video. I'm looking at these comments.
React clean.
Yeah, we react clean. We don't watch or we'll tell you if we've seen it before. Yeah, the Predator with the absolute Batman build from the comments.
See, hold on, man. If they showed a scene with like a invisible Predator flipping a tire, I'd be down for it. One of them big truck tires, that Batman likes to flip.
The aerial combat Predator is a neat idea. I would agree. That's something we ain't seen before. But the Viking thing, I think we kind of saw that with Prey. So it'll be interesting. We'll see how that goes. The Ninja, now that would be cool. After watching, what's it? That one Blue Eye Samurai. That kind of looks like this is about it's a little bit different animation, but almost the same, and so it'd be cool to see Predator in Japan. But I mean, it's animation too, so you can do some cool stuff in there. So yeah, we'll see. The Predator probably move a lot faster in animation, and it seems like I mean, I guess it got CGI, but it looks hokey. But like the original Arnold Schwarzenegger one, boy, that thing was moving slow, boy.
Wait, the movie or the actual
The
beast?
movie, remember the first Predator?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, people watching reactions to the first Predator really got into it. How it was just slow paced, and they kept wondering. And that back to that, it's part of the wondering, what's happening, what's going on, what's this predator's particular angle. So if different predators had different personalities, and you kind of had to figure out what they were about, why they were killing, or who they decided to kill, or whatever, then maybe there's a little bit of thought mystery going on.
I hope so, man. They don't really have a what's the mythology of the Predator, man? Look, someone said I'm a huge Predator fan. I was born in 1980 and grew up with the Predator movies. Personally, I think it's the best creature sci-fi movie of all time, and the artwork and design is fantastic. So someone's happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy like a pig and shit that this is coming out. I'm ready for some Predator. Been too long. So yeah.
So from the it's funny, I'm looking at Predator on the WaltDisneyCompany.com official site. It just seems like, hey, Mickey Mouse stuff, and then Predator. Why are you on this? Why are you on this website at all? Go on, have a Hulu website. Anyway, I'm on the site, and it says the anthology story follows three of the fiercest warriors in human history. Yeah, the Viking,
Probably
the
three.
ninja. In
Now,
feudal
what would be
Japan,
cool, man?
and
Okay,
WW2 pilot.
what would be cool if they interspace them? So it's like Act One, you're the Viking, and then you stop, and in between acts, then you go to the pilot. So they're all at the same moment, emotionally when you go back to it, and you're like, oh wow, how's this Viking gonna get out of this? And you gotta wait to the next episode, or you skip ahead. But they're not gonna do that. They're probably gonna tell it all in one story.
That'd be you'd have to be a little slick for that one.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool because it's gonna be the same beats. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Who's killing us? I don't know. Who's killing you? I don't. Oh, I'm dead. The discovery. The second
Yeah.
part beat is what's the second beat? Oh wow, there's something killing us, man. We gotta figure out what this is. Then you get the little exposition of what the predator is. Third beat, the person's preparing to get the predator, right? They're putting traps up, whatever. So it's like,
Yeah. So and I haven't dissected this trailer, but I'm going to go ahead and say this falls in the same trap as the DiCaprio one we saw earlier, where it just shows stuff happening, and like, it just shows stuff happening, but doesn't really necessarily pull you in with that story. So
I agree.
I'm like, pull us in with that story, man. That's what you start with, and get us thinking about, oh man,
Yeah, why did he?
a predator that can't see, or a predator that can't hear, or something like that.
Yeah, why did they start with the predator or the people like preparing for a battle, right? Built that tension, and I think they kind of did, but it wasn't as intense, or the predator, maybe the humans getting ready for battle, and then you see the predator getting ready for battle, right? It's like, oh snap!
I saw an image of feudal Japan for like 2.5 seconds before I saw somebody get cut in half. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh wait, what's happening? Okay, yeah, he's dead.
Build it. Kill point. Build the tension, and then show Bowles being eviscerated, right? Like do back to back bow evisceration at the end. But let's build up the tension first, right? Tease me.
Just give me a little tease, dog.
Yeah, just like Megan. Megan just she started as a Tubby, right? Just a cute little Tubby, man. Then slowly but surely she was out here. She was out here in stilettos in squirrel outfits flying around, man. So that's how you do it, man. Build up to it.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I might have to check that out if I ever get back on Disney Plus.
Yeah. So
I currently have it banned from my credit card.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Do not allow Disney any of your money. I called them and told them.
They got my money. So hey, so yeah, man. So cool stuff. Well, hey guys, look, this has been fun, Mr. Benja. I think I'm gonna go back and watch this Megan 3 Megan 2. Uh, Megan 2.0 a trailer again after this. So,
Yeah.
because that was that much hype, I got to get hype again. But, Mr. Benja, anything going on this week for you?
Uh, nah, man. I'm just gonna go back to my online therapy and see if I can hyper focus and become a chicken jockey.
Chicken Jockey. Yeah, I might have some new content. Interesting. My
Oh,
dispatch from the field secret. So, once I get some video footage, I'll reveal it maybe on this pod. So we'll talk
all right.
about more. So more to come there. But everyone, thanks for listening. If you like what you heard, please like, subscribe, and comment on Show versus Business on X, Threads, YouTube, and Instagram. Visit us at Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And go check us out on our website, Show versus Business. Have a good one, Mr. Benja.
Peace.